As a law firm owner, the biggest part of your job is going to be getting clients, bringing clients in the door. So, getting the consults, doing the consults, signing them up, converting those consults into paid clients. And today we're going to talk about becoming a rainmaker. I recently hosted a CLE on this topic about being a rainmaker as a lawyer. So, I want to kind of share with you some of the takeaways, some of my thought and insight about becoming a rainmaker as a lawyer. I'm Darcel. I've been an attorney for 16 years. I've been my solo for the past 9.5 years now. And so I work with lawyers who are looking to go out on their own and open their own law firm, or who already have a law firm but need help to manage it. Like, my clients are great lawyers, but they need some help with the business side of running a law firm. So let's talk about being a rainmaker. I do think that with being a rainmaker, and when I say rainmaker, I think that can mean different things to different people as far as how much that is. If you're a true solo, maybe for you being a rainmaker is doing, $400,000 a year. Maybe if you have, one other attorney, or maybe you have one or two paralegals, maybe you're inching more towards the $1 million mark and hitting maybe, 850, 900, or approaching $1 million. If you are more a small to mid-sized firm, if you have a couple of attorneys and some support staff, you're over $1 million, right? And so your definition of what it means to be a rainmaker is going to be different based on the size and structure of your law firm. But I think these underlying principles remain the same no matter what that dollar amount might look like to you. And so with being a rainmaker, you really want to develop your niche as far as what you're known for. I think as a solo, you probably should have more than one practice area. That's my general advice to my clients who are solos. But even in doing so, there should be something that you are known for among your colleagues, and especially your potential referral sources. And if you do estate planning, that should not just be I do estate planning. It shouldn't be so vague or general. It needs to be more specific so people can easily identify what type of client is a good fit for you. And by default, you're going to get clients who fit in that description and also who don't fit in that description, right? But if you say that, I focus on first-time homeowners who have minor children, that's kind of my ideal client who I specialize working with, that's great. And you're going to attract those people, but you're also going to attract people who don't fit into that box, and that's okay also. You may have clients who don't have children, or maybe they're not first-time homeowners, but by having a clear message about who you serve and what kind of work you do is going to help you to attract that potential client. But also you're going to attract others who maybe do not fall directly in that description, but are kind of, adjacent to that description. So we first want to become very clear on what we do, who we serve. And so you want to develop becoming kind of known as the go-to. So for me, it's kind of shifted over the years for me. But initially in my practice, when I graduated law school, it was 2009 and the market had just crashed. And so I really developed kind of a niche practice of where I was helping homeowners avoid foreclosure. Now, I was primarily doing so with bankruptcy, but I wasn't just marketing myself as a bankruptcy attorney because, again, I think that's kind of vague, but that I was helping homeowners who are looking to avoid foreclosure really became more specific and easy for people to identify who would be a good fit for me. And not everyone who came to me needed to stop a foreclosure. But that was directly who I was speaking to when I was talking about my bankruptcy work and the kind of work that I did, is that's who I had defined as my ideal client. And then by default in doing so, it attracted other people who maybe not fit in that category, but maybe still needed help with their mortgage or maybe still needed a bankruptcy. And so you want to figure out, what is it that you are the go-to person for? What do you want to be known for? What do you want to specialize in? So that's the first task, is that you need to figure out what your niche is and kind of become clear on that for yourself, so that when you are telling other people what your niche is and what you do and who you help and who you serve, they also are clear on who that is. And this goes in line with the next tip, which is to make sure you're building genuine relationships. So we talk about networking sometimes, and it feels so transactional, like you're just exchanging business cards. But no, I don't think that is the goal when it comes to networking and building relationships. When I go to an event, I'm not looking to collect as many business cards as possible and to meet as many people as possible. I'm an introvert. That doesn't work for me. But it's also, I don't think, strategically a good way to approach it. I think if I go to an event, even if there's 200 people there, if I can make a good 2, 3 connections and follow up with them and connect with them on LinkedIn, send them a follow-up email, have an introduction, maybe do coffee, maybe do lunch, and really get to know them and learn about them and what they do, that is a far bigger win than giving my business card to just 30 people. Like, I want to really establish relationships for the long term. You want to plant those seeds now so that you get the return on those for years to come. Because I can tell you right now, like, I'm at a place in my career where the seeds that I've sowed like 10 years ago are still coming back to me and are still, I'm receiving the benefit from that. Okay. And so when you are going to events and you're trying to network, and the term network just, at least for me, again, as an introvert, like that word is just like, it's kind of scary. Like, I don't want to network. Like, that sounds awful. If you're an extrovert, it probably sounds amazing. But to me, the notion of networking is just like, ugh. Either it's scary, it's overwhelming, I don't want to do it, I'll avoid it, right? But if I go with just, okay, I'm just looking to meet 2 or 3 people and get to know them, that's not as scary as walking into a room where I know nobody and my goal is to exchange as many business cards as possible. So try to approach it from that way, that you're looking to actually build relationships. You're actually just looking to learn about the person and what they do and how you can help them. Daily, I give out a lot, my office gives out so many referrals for things that I don't do, I don't want to do, or maybe too small, so I refer them out. But I give out so much, but I also receive so much back, right? And so you want to know how you can help that person and refer to that person and help them with their business, because that will in turn come back to you. I will tell you firsthand that's 100% true. I have experienced that over these 16 years as an attorney, especially as a law firm owner, where I'm responsible for every dollar that comes into my firm. I'm the only attorney in my firm, so I am responsible for every dollar that comes into my firm. And so I know that by establishing these relationships and growing them and nurturing them, that I am going to ensure the continued success of my law firm for years to come. Along those same lines, especially if you're just starting out, and this kind of goes hand in hand with developing your niche, but also creating kind of your brand. Now, how do you do that? What does that mean? And I didn't always have this. This has come with time. This has come as I've built confidence as an attorney. So I will say, when I first started practicing law, I was very worried or concerned about how I was perceived, how I dressed, what I wore, how I spoke, how I did my makeup, how I did my hair, like all the things. I was so worried if I fit into the box of what I thought people thought their attorney should look like. Especially because I was young when I was first licensed as an attorney. I was 25 when I was first an attorney. I'm 41 now. And so now I'm at a point in my career where I know that I know what I'm doing, and I don't feel the same need to have to fit into someone's box of what they think an attorney should look like or conduct themselves or act or talk or dress or makeup or whatever it may be. This is not to say that I'm not professional, but it just means that I am more comfortable in my skin as an attorney, and that has come with time. If you are new to being an attorney, that might take you some time to develop. But you're going to want to find your voice and your approach. And I know that for some people, I am not the right fit for them as their lawyer, and I'm okay with that. I know that that's okay. I know that I'm still going to have clients. I know that my phone will still ring for people wanting to have a consult with me. And so I'm able to have this confidence of showing up as myself. And so I had this YouTube channel for talking about, all things being a lawyer and a business owner and how to start your firm and run it and juggling motherhood and, law firm ownership. But also for my law firm, I have a YouTube channel where I talk about estate planning and probate and real estate and kind of my practice areas. And people get to kind of know and hear me and get to decide if they want to work with me as their lawyer beforehand. I know for some people, I'm not the right fit for them, but for a number of people, I am. And it's being okay that you're not going to be for everyone. You're not going to be the right lawyer for everyone who needs, criminal defense or who needs immigration or who needs a family law attorney. You're not going to be the right fit for everyone, and that is okay. You don't have to help everyone who contacts your office or who needs help with an issue that you can help with. So along those same lines, when you're developing kind of your brand and your voice and your style of lawyering, one thing that you can do is really to get yourself out there in your community of other lawyers or other professionals in your industry and speak at conferences or write articles, write blogs for your county or state bar association. Make sure you're showing up online or on social media. If it's to other lawyers, maybe LinkedIn is a good space for you. If it's other professionals, maybe Facebook might be better. So wherever your potential referral source is, you want to show up in that way as yourself and developing your style as a lawyer and developing your brand. So along those same lines, if you haven't done so, make sure you have claimed all of your online profiles. So your Google My Business, your Avo, all the social media handles, even if you don't post, make sure you just claim those under, your name or your law firm name. Now for Google My Business, that's a no-brainer. You have to claim that. You have to fill that out. That way for, for Google and SEO purposes, and I'm not an SEO expert by any means, but you want to make sure you are claiming your Google My Business profile. That is free. You don't have to pay for that. So make sure you claim that and fill that out. Upload a photo of yourself. But again, we're going to start to do the work to claim or to really figure out what your identity is, what your brand is, and to put that out there in the world for people to know what you do and how you do it and how you can help people. And so, and these kind of, all these tips go hand in hand. I don't really think any of them are very isolated. They're not independent of each other. They all kind of overlap. So next we have consistency. And so we talked about building genuine relationships. And when you go to events and you're networking, but really you're building relationships, make sure you're following up. I tell all my law firm owners, especially if they're new to opening a law firm or to lawyering, you should have some kind of list, spreadsheet of your different contacts, your potential referral sources, and you should be ensuring that you are continuing to follow up with them. So if you realize that you haven't talked to Jane Doe or you haven't touched base with her in 9 months or a year, you should reach out. If that's someone who's the potential referral source for you, maybe they haven't referred to you yet, or if they have referred to you, make sure you're following up, just touching base, checking in, saying hello, seeing how they're doing, inviting someone to lunch or coffee or something like that. But to grow those relationships and to have those, come back to you, you want to make sure that you are consistently following up whether with referral sources or with clients. Like, that's really where the key and where the money is made, is being able to have a follow-up process and that you follow that with everyone. So if you do not have a list of referral sources, if you're not following up with people that you meet, or you met with them one time for coffee and you ghosted them ever since, like, you need to reach out. You need to follow up and make sure you make those connections. I can't tell you how many times I've been contacted by somebody, maybe who's a new lawyer or new to going out on their own, and they reach out to me and maybe we have coffee or we meet over Zoom, and then I never hear from them again. And I'm just like, I'm shocked, because it's just like, I could be such a great referral source for you. Like, I am all about supporting my other solos. And it's just like, I see it time and time again where there is no follow up afterwards. So make sure you're doing that. Keep your spreadsheet of your contacts and make sure you follow up and check in with them. Also, along these same lines, You should be ensuring, like, you don't have to hide the ball. Like, you are a business owner, you're looking to earn people's business. Make sure people know what you do and how you can help potential clients. That's okay to do. And if you're going to be a law firm owner, which means you're going to be a business owner, you need to be comfortable with asking for a business. It's okay to say, this is how I can help your clients. This is my ideal client. And also asking them in return how you can help them, how you can refer to them. But make sure people know what you do. And also when it comes to current clients of yours, there's going to be a number of clients who are going to refer, their friends or colleagues to you if they have someone who needs the services that you offer. But also you need to remind your clients of what you do, right? So you're going to have other practice areas that you do, or other ways that you can help your clients' referrals sources, right? Those potential future clients of yours. So I know a number of attorneys, and I used to do this when I first started out. I have fallen off the bandwagon on this one, but I used to send holiday cards to all my clients. I don't do that anymore. I know I should, but it just has not been a priority, to be honest. But that's a great way to kind of like stay on top of mind and remind people that you exist and what you do, right? So your holiday card would just say, happy holidays, wishing you, a great season, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to say, hey, remember that I do real estate and estate planning. Like you're not going to say that in the card, but the footer of the card might have like your firm name, your website, and practice areas. And all these cards were handwritten. I wrote these all by hand. They were not typed out. It was not generic. It was John Doe and Jane Doe. I hope you've had, an amazing year and whatever you want to say, right? And if there's something that I remembered about the client that I had in my notes, maybe their kid was graduating high school or going off to college, or they were traveling, internationally or going on a cruise, I would also put that in there, right? And so, but doing these cards every holiday season or after the new year, I know some lawyers do birthday cards where they track their clients' birthdays and send out a birthday card every year to their clients. So there's a number of ways that you can remain in contact with clients after you've completed your work for them to help remind them that you exist and what you do, and that, oh yeah, I did see, my lawyer about this, and they also do this, my friend needs this, let me refer them, or whatever it may be. Also, if you are inclined to do like an email newsletter, you can do that as well, right? If you want to do a monthly newsletter or a quarterly newsletter about, your practice area and updates and things for people to know, it's a great way to stay in contact as well with past clients and, again, your potential referral sources. All right, next on the list is being more visible in your community. So we talked about developing your personal brand and speaking at conferences or writing articles. So, but also along those same lines, maybe find one or two groups that you can become a part of on a board or a committee to be engaged with, your legal community, but also to, find your mentors or peers that you need to support you as you, are in navigating your career and opening your own law firm. Make sure that you are being visible in the legal community and people to know kind of what you do and who you are. So finding one or two boards or committees, I'm on a number of them myself at the county level, the state level. There's some mom groups that I'm involved with, and I'm actually the vice president of one in particular. So make sure you are staying engaged and involved in your legal community. Next on the list, I have, treat every person like a potential future client. You never know where your next client may come from, right? And so for me, I'm a parent. I have a daughter in high school, a son in middle school. And so, I'm involved with the kids, PTA. And again, I've shared in other videos that one of the reasons why I went out on my own is so I could be engaged in my kids' activities. And so one thing that's important to me is to kind of keep my eye on what's going on at the school and being involved with the schools, getting to know their teachers and things like that. And so I've had a number of clients who have come from my kids' schools and other parents who know that I'm an attorney, and I think there's some comfort in knowing that I'm another parent at their kid's school as well. And so you just never know where a client can come from. So ensure you're treating everyone as though they may be a future client or may have a referral for you for a future client. Not that you're asking everyone for business everywhere you go, but just keep that in mind and be cognizant of that as you are interacting with people and meeting people, even outside of the legal community or outside a professional setting. And then this should go without saying, but do a good job for your clients, right? If you tell them you're going to do something by a certain date, make sure you do it by that date. Deliver on what you say you're going to do. Now, with that, do not, how do I say this? Don't like underestimate the time you need, right? Don't promise to do something urgently if it's not actually urgent. Don't self impose a deadline that you know you cannot commit to. So be realistic with your timelines and the time frames that you give clients. Like currently for estate plans, clients are told 3 weeks for us to have drafts ready. We usually have them ready in about 2 weeks, but we say 3 weeks just based on the current caseload and what we have going on. So I wouldn't tell a client we can have your estate plan ready for you next week, because that's going to be burdensome for me, for my team at my law firm, and I'm probably not going to meet that deadline. So make sure you're giving realistic deadlines for the work that you're doing and that you're delivering by that date that you said that you would. And out of all the things that you're doing to build your business, to grow your network, to develop, referrals and referral sources, make sure you're tracking what actually works. If you're writing blogs, if you're doing speaking engagements, when new potential clients contact your law firm, make sure you're finding out how they heard of you. Where did they come from? Make sure you're tracking those metrics. And if somebody was referred to you by a referral source or a prior client, make sure you tell that person thank you who referred the client to you. Sometimes that piece gets missed, whether it's a short email or a thank you card. Just acknowledge that referral that comes to you. But make sure you're tracking metrics on what's working for you so you can double down on those things. If you find that doing certain speaking gigs really works for you, or if you find that a certain blog or newsletter really works for you, make sure you're doubling down on what actually works and keep doing that. Do more of that, right? Because that's what's working for you. So those are kind of my tips on how to become a rainmaker as a lawyer, as a law firm owner. If this was helpful for you, if you like these kind of tips and suggestions on how to grow your business as a lawyer, as a law firm owner, make sure you stick around. We talk about all things running a law firm, managing your business, juggling your personal life, and how to have a fulfilling career that supports how you want to live and kind of what your time commitment is and what the flexibility is that you want and the freedom that you want and the income that you want to earn as a lawyer and as a law firm owner. So I hope this helps. I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye.